I'm Irene Diamond, and I am a success business coach for therapists. Many refer to me as Therapist Tour Guide to Success. I help therapists take their practice from good to great. So today I've got a little strategy I refer to as who's running your biz, who's running your business. So many times I see clients are running therapists' practices. They're the ones calling the shots. And then the therapist comes to me struggling, wondering how come they can't get a hold of their practice? How come the clients are not coming in on the frequency that they'd like? And how come they can't charge the rates they want to charge? And they just don't have the practice of their dreams. So I have a live event called Design Your Dream Practice, and this is a concept that's taken from that. So I wanted to just share the 3 biggest problems that I see therapists making and why they are not in control of their practice and why their clients are running their business for them and how you can turn that around. So one of the biggest problems is therapists don't have a solid cancellation policy in place. Now, cancellation policy, everybody knows about canceled appointments. I like to refer to this policy actually as a rescheduling policy. And the reason I say that is because we're assuming that if your client actually does cancel so they can't come in for that one session, that they're not canceling and never coming back, but they're just moving the appointment day or time. So that's why we refer to it as a rescheduling policy. But you need to know what your policy is. So what do you need to know? You need to know the time frame. The time frame. So do they need to give you 24 hours notice before they can cancel or reschedule, or they'll be charged? Do they need to give you 2 days? Do they need to give you 3 hours? So depending on your clientele, your market, and the work that you provide, you might have different lengths, but you need to know. For example, I use a 24-hour window if I'm doing just basic appointments. Now, if it's a busy event that our wellness center is holding, and we have a bunch of therapists that we've arranged, and we've made a lot of effort to get this together, we might have a 2-day cancellation policy or a week policy. Again, it depends on the nature of the business that I'm referring to. But for you, as a solo practitioner or a small clinic, you need to know how much time does that client need to know or need to give you to let you know that they're not going to be able to come in. Now, what if they tell you within your time frame that they can't come in? You need to know how much money are you going to charge them, if you're going to charge them. So are you going to charge them the full amount, or are you going to charge them half, or are you going to charge them a flat fee of $10 or $20 or $25? Doesn't matter, but you need to know what that is. Okay, so you need to know, they need to know how long they need to be able to give you for a time frame. You need to know how much you're going to charge. And then the last thing is the method. Can they email you? Can they text you? Do you need them to call you? How do you want them to notify you? Because worst case scenario, they've sent you an email, but you're in your clinic and you're not looking at your computer. You have no idea they're not showing up. You're struggling and trying to get all your appointments filled, and then all of a sudden there's a no-show, right? Which is the same thing as the same-day cancellation if they don't show up. Then you finally get to your computer later that afternoon and you recognize that they had sent you an email, right? So you need to know what your policies are. You need to set that in place. Now, once you know what your policies are, tell your clients. Post it on your website if you need to. Put it in writing. Verbally let them know. When they're booking an appointment, let them know, Mary, I've got you down at 3 o'clock on Thursday, and please remember I've got a 24-hour window. If you need to cancel or reschedule, just let me know outside of that window and we'll be fine. But if you call me that same day, I will need to charge you the full amount. That's the exact script I use. Now, once you've said that, then you ask them, does that work for you? Do you understand? And if they say yes, they understand, then if in fact Mary calls you that same day and says that her daughter needs to be picked up at preschool, you now know that she knows about your policy. So if you end up having to charge her, she's aware of it and she agreed to it. Now, once you know your policies, you can always change them. You can always make exceptions. If you have not stated your policy and you let Mary slide because her daughter needs to be picked up from preschool, if you've not stated it, she just doesn't really think that you've done anything above and beyond being a nice person. But if she knows the policy and you say, Mary, I'll just waive it for you this time, Or I'll waive it because you're a first-time client, but in the future, please remember, I do need to have at least 24 hours notice or I will need to charge you. They then think, wow, what a nice person she is. She's making an exception to her policy. She's letting me slide on this one, and they'll register and remember next time that they need to make sure they give you enough notice. So again, who's running your practice? Make sure that you know what your cancellation policy is. The rates, now that's a biggie. I suggest you do not have a sliding scale. I know a lot of people out there suggest sliding scales. I think you need to know what your true value is, what your true worth is, and set a price that makes you feel comfortable, that you are being compensated appropriately, and you're providing a great value to your clients. We'll talk more about how to set your rates on another video, but you need to know what your rates are and you need to set them. Now, in this economy, I don't care. In this economy, I don't care. You need to know what your rate is. Now, you can offer a special. You can always have a sale. You can always discount. You can always do a holiday event where the price is lower. Much easier to do that than to have a low rate now, and then when the economy gets better, start raising your rates. That becomes much more complicated. So set a fair price that you feel is good and just, and provides a terrific value for your clients, so the client walks away going, wow, that was so worth it. So worth it in price and so worth it in their time. Remember, they're investing their time with you. So we often think and get caught up in pricing, but it's the client's time which might be as valuable, if not more valuable to them. So set your rates. Make sure that they are a fair rate for you and for the client. Rescheduling frequency, that's a biggie. Now, a lot of therapists will come to me and say, how come my clients don't come back on a regular basis? How do I get clients to rebook? Well, the best way to get clients to rebook is to tell them when. When they should rebook. And that's so simple, but many therapists feel that that's being too pushy. If you're addressing somebody's pain, somebody's complaint, somebody's dysfunction, somebody's stress level, you're the expert. Don't leave it up to them. They may not know. You need to say, Mary, I would like to see you again on Thursday. I think that's what you need to take care of that shoulder problem. I'll see you again on Thursday for an hour session, and then the following Tuesday for just a 30-minute session, and your problem should be gone. If you feel confident enough in your clinical skills, you should be able to figure out the frequency and then tell them. Then it's up to them to say yes or no. But if you don't tell them, a lot of therapists do not want to be too pushy, so they'll just say, okay, thank you, see you later, call me when you're ready. The client doesn't know to come back. So 3 things happen when that occurs. If your client had a complaint and you did not tell them to come back, and they walk out and that shoulder is not better, they'll either say, wow, that therapist wasn't very good, right? But that's not the case. The case is not you're not very good, you just might have needed a few more sessions. Or they'll say, well, massage isn't the right treatment, let me find another modality. Or they just walk away and go, well, I got to live with it. And that would be terrible. So I feel that it's your ethical responsibility to actually advise your clients. One of my concepts is that you put on your advisor role. You are an advisor, not an order taker. You call the shots. You run the practice. Now, I know that's pretty bold, and I know it takes a lot of courage and confidence, but as you start to do it, you'll start to see it becomes easier and easier. And the cool thing is your clients will get better results, and therefore they'll tell their friends, and therefore they'll want to pay you what you're worth. So that's my advice to you. I'm Irene Diamond. Hopefully, you'll start thinking about what I just shared with you and start applying that in your practice. So successfulmassagetherapist.org. Sign up for our weekly strategies. And if you go to massagesuccess.org, you can also request a free business success CD, a business success CD that I'd be happy to send to you. So that's at massagesuccess.org. All right, thanks so much for watching.